Well, good evening, everybody. How are you? How's everybody doing? Hey, I'd like to welcome my oldest son here. I see he's logged in. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Okay, let's see. Somebody asked, how was my drive? If you must mean the visit to St. Louis. It was good, very good. Long day. Drive up there, drive back in a day. It's a fair drive, yeah. All right, sound good, everything, pictures good. Okay, are we ready for another week? For those who don't know, this is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. Today's date is Sunday. What is this? August 9th, 2020. Glad to have everybody here. I'm probably going to pronounce this incorrectly, so please help me out if you can. Bila, something like Bila, thank you very much. Welcome. One of the rules that we ask here is that you ask a lot of questions, okay? There's a strange sound coming from my mic. I was kind of moving it. Maybe that was it. And maybe it was just I was moving it. Sounds fine. Okay. All right, I'll stop. I'll quit moving it. There we go. All righty. Oh, okay. So I was out Friday. I did end up making a couple of trades, not buying anything. I did close a few positions, and I'll talk about those tomorrow in the trading room. Closed and took some profits off a few positions. That's one of the neat things you can do with trading. So here I am at the doctor's getting a checkup, and I decided to open my little laptop up, and bada boom, bada bang. You know what? I think I'll take some profits off the table. It's a fantastic job we have, isn't it? For those that are trading, kind of cool to do that. So, okay, so I want to run through just a little bit of the market really fast. I'm not gonna beat this to death or anything, and then I really want to get to some stocks. Tonight's going to be about a 58 minute night. We're going to cut it short, less than an hour. And then in the meantime, I'll certainly take whatever questions I can take. And please feel free to ask any questions you like. Let's see, there's one right there. It looks like a good profit. Let's see, that looks like a good profit taking point. Seems overextended above the T line. Make sure you mention a ticker symbol. I think you're talking about the SPY right now, Bila, but make sure you mention a ticker symbol. Otherwise, I'll never know what you're talking about. Okay? Let's see. Was it Kayan, your first day here? Wow. Thanks for mentioning that. I've been watching, let's see, Rick on YouTube in the morning the last couple of weeks. Enjoy your education, and I am eager to learn more. Well, fantastic. I'm really glad to hear you here, that you're here. You know, I will make, Ed says Yellowstone. He's exactly right. Yellowstone's on tonight, and I'm not missing it. Nothing is going to make me miss it. So tonight will be less than an hour, but we'll get it all covered. That's right, Yellowstone night. You know, for the folks that just new here, I do want to announce that I have decided I'm going to close out, or what I'm going to do is taking money out of my Road to Wealth account this week or next. I've got to decide. Well, I'm gonna do it either this week or next, and then what's going to happen? I'm going to start the process over. Now, those of you that know, I started January of 2018 with $5,100. Don't ask me where the $100 came from. My poor math skills, I guess. And I'm going to be closing it out. It's about $72,000. So I don't know, 2018, January 2018. This is August of 2020. Do the math. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to start the process over again. I am going to do something different, though. I am going to start with $10,000 versus $5,000. And it really doesn't matter how much money you start with. So for somebody that is looking to climb aboard and try, Well, try to figure it out and learn. I'll certainly be sharing everything I can possibly share. Members know I share all my trades, and I've decided to do this again. So when you're bored, that's a fun thing to do. That'll take the boredom away. So, Adam, this is your first day. Is this Adam from Anchorage? Just want to check. I saw you mentioned up there afternoon and night. Yeah, it's night for me. Okay, I better get going here. We're going to run out of time. Let's see, Rick. Hi, could I get your outlook on... Yes, Ray, remind me after we go through my 10 actionable trade ideas, and by golly, I will take a look at Facebook for you, okay? Bila, if I'm using Thinkorswim, what can I use instead of the Trendicator? You can actually use that on Thinkorswim, and I will be sending out a code for everybody that has Thinkorswim that puts it up there, okay? I will be doing that. See, if you're a member, I provide everything. For instance, I'm buying XYZ. I might say something like October calls 45 strike. That's outside of that. I'm not sure what you want to know, but if you're a member, you receive that. You can either even receive that on a. It's kind of like a text alert that's for members only. Let's see. I'm on the road trading. We'll paper trade for 6 months. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Don't spend any money until you get it down pat. Let's see here. Yeah, this is Adam from Anchorage. Cool. Thank you, Adam. Let's see. Man, I'm trying to get through the questions. Z. Did you give your numbers all trades since? Yes, Z, I did. Yes, I did. I'll make use of the code. Good deal. Good deal. I'll get that out this week for sure. Okay. And Meyer, I'm going to send it to everybody. So everyone that we send emails to, if you currently receive an email from us, I will be sending that code out to everybody. Yeah. Let's see. No. Don't apologize for basic questions. Please don't. No need. But how do I stop limit order? Will options on Thinkorswim? But I don't use Thinkorswim, just so you know, and I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you the first thing about Thinkorswim. I do not use it, so I cannot help you at all on Thinkorswim. Sorry. In the trading room, we have a lot of people that do use Thinkorswim, and in the trading room, they can certainly help you with that. Yellowstone has been canceled for tonight. No, it hasn't. Are you serious, Bob? That's not funny. Let's see, Adam, is your new road to wealth going to be option trades or just regular types of trades? Good question, Adam. There is no way in the world a person can take $5,000 to $72,000 just trading stocks in this short a time. It's impossible. I truly believe it's impossible. And with that said, Adam, I'm also going to say every trade I take can be traded with options or stocks. Now I will tell you, the only trades I will take will be directional puts or calls. So options, yes. Directional puts or calls. That's it. But it does not, the fact that I'm trading option does not change one thing at all. Let's take a look at FedEx as an example. This is one of them tonight that I think we ought to keep our eyes on. Now, I think FedEx is a little stretched out if you looked at it late Friday, but what I'm looking for is a pullback back in the buy box here. Could be tomorrow, could be sometime next week, I would imagine. And then I'm going to look for a buy signal in here, and I'm going to buy an option. You, on the other hand, you might say, well, maybe you don't trade options and you want to buy the stock. Well, you can certainly buy the stock. There is no difference, zero difference, whether you buy an option or trade, okay, or stock. But I will tell you that I will trade 100% options. One thing I'm going to do, and since we're talking about it, I'll bring this over here, show you. I'll be starting, like I said, this week or next week. And my 12-month goal will be to increase the count from $10,000 to somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000. Now, if you followed along with the last time I did this, you know that it was pretty much a cakewalk. For those that are troubled with the, oh, you have to have $25,000 to trade. No, that's not true. You don't have to. I will admit it makes life a little easier. It does. But you don't have to have it, and you can start with whatever amount you'd like to start with, okay? And we'll talk more. Tonight's not the night to get into that, but we'll definitely be talking more about that. So let's just take FedEx here. So I'm going to be looking at FedEx for a buy. It's too high to buy now. I want to buy on pullback, so I'm going to buy on the pullback. And then I've got a target of 192.89 up there. And of course, here, let's see, put a weekly chart up. And I'm putting them a weekly chart just so I can see to the left a little easier without scrunching it up real little. And from there, we'll put a target of about 208.90, something like that. And believe me, if you can pick up some FedEx, say in the, here, let's move this down actually. Say in the 180 area, man, up here at 192, 193, 7.25%, that's excellent money. I would argue the person that thumbs their nose, well, that's only 7%. I would argue that you're probably the person that's never made a dime in trading in your life. The second target up here, around 16%. And it's trades like that is going to be exactly how I plan to treat my account. Here's another one, and then I'll go back to some of those questions, but I do want to get started on this. UNM is also on my watch list that I'll be looking at. Earnings not till November. And I can see here the trend is, trending up. You can put a longer trend if you want. We can do something like that right there. And that actually looks a little better with Friday's candle. Looking at these three candles here, we've got a bullish day, not so bullish day, and a bullish day. This makes what we call a Fig Newton type chart pattern, which is just, the Fig Newton cookie. And we've got a little gap up here. We pulled back. We tested this bottom. To me, this looks like a really, really nice potential trade for a J-hook continuation pattern and a couple of three targets that I have, which all base hits. These closer up would be little base hits, first base, second base, things like that. And then this would be, if I had any position left, I would be closing it out up here at about 22.80. Now, you guys all know that I trade with base hits. You know that baseball games are not won with home runs. They're won with base hits. I suppose somebody could argue with that. You'd probably have a good argument for it. But that guy that the guy that's on the in the batter's box and swings and hits that home run, when there's three baseball players on the bases, that guy earned his money that night. That's how it's won. You get somebody up there that can hit a home run, but you get those three people on the bases. That's how it's hit. So I tend to focus on the base hits. You'd be amazed how little money it takes to, say, double a $10,000 account. And that's something that I'll be talking about later next week and probably do a video on it, something like that. But you will be just absolutely amazed how little it takes. And if you take all the complication out and all the worrying out of it and just look at the hardcore numbers, it is remarkably small. So I look at this trade, man, 8% on an option trade, that's a 16-20% trade right there. And then up here to 13%. That's sweet. This right here, for me, this is probably a home run up here to 26%. All right, let me go grab some of these questions here. Okay. No, so far, not a really question for me. Yes, this is being recorded. Let's see. Are the trades text? Yes. Yes, they are. It's a kind of a text. It's an app. It's sort of like a text. Comes across like a text, but it's an app for the trading room. I want to stop there for a moment here. Somebody asked, are the trades text? Folks, let me tell you something about trading. If you climb a board to follow, you're going to lose, okay? If I place a trade on NUM, and I do, you can ask any member here. It's posted in members that have the app. They get it. In fact, the way I usually do it in the room is I'll say, hey, I'm thinking about buying UNM here. I go over there and I look at the options chain on it, making sure that there's reasonably good options on it. If there's good options, I'll say, hey, I'm going to buy this. And I'll even say in the room live, well, I just put the order in, and once it's filled, I immediately go up there and post it, and it comes across within seconds. Seconds. It's not like you've got to be in the trade right away. It's not. Don't rush into anything. But more importantly, the idea is for you to learn what's going on, not copy the trade, okay? I want to make that very, very clear to somebody. If you want to play along, if you want to try to do this with me, I will do whatever I can to help and to work with you. But I want to tell you right now, if you're just there to copy trades, you're going to lose. You're not going to make it. So I just want to make that very, very clear out there, okay? Let's see here. More questions. Not for me. This one's not for me. Let's see. I hope this session, it is recorded. Let's see. Rick, the PNC insurers, putted it in great candle last Friday, promising. Oh, thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. We'll look at some of those. Let's see. I'm just going to go down to the last question, and we're going to go from there. Whoops. Get bigger here. All right, let's look at some more charts. Hey, DVN is also on my list. DVN. If you take a look at DVN here, I think this is acting pretty good. We've started from this bottom here, and then we popped up and we pulled above our red dots there. Now, that's an extended series of red dots, and we popped up, and then we just started to consolidate. And here we put in some red dots, green dots, some red dots. But if you look at the chart pattern, it wasn't a trend breaking chart pattern. It wasn't price action that said, hey, look out below or anything like that. And one thing we're going to look for is we want to look for support up there. And you can see right here, we have from this point up, we hit that high and we pulled back. Well, notice we're right down here at this low where this pop-up actually pulled back and tested and won. Here we won on the upside. And this is all part of a chart pattern that's setting up now. And here we've gapped up, and we've got, counting that gap bar, 3 bars to the right, resting in there quite nicely, waiting for the T-line, the 17 maybe, or just the other moving averages to catch up. A nice bullish engulf here. I see no reason why this can't go up higher. Now, of course, anything could happen this weekend. Lord, it could be a tweet, for God's sakes, that could drive this down, anything like that. But right now, just looking at the chart, I see no reason why we can't get say 13.85, maybe up here to $15 on it. So I'm going to be looking for an entry on this, and I'm pretty much going to take the low, which that came close to the low of Friday's candle, and just slightly above Friday's high. And that's my buy area right in there. My stop will be the low if I buy it. If and when I buy it, because there's no guarantee I'm going to buy this one, but will be the low of Friday's candle. And then as the stock moves up, I'll raise that stop up a little bit. And like I said, right now I'm looking for 13.15. And if I get an entry around, say, $12, 10% on the stock, not too bad. And then up here around 16 to 17%, 16, we'll call it 16%, for the next little base hit up here. And you all know, you option traders, you know, that is a pretty healthy option percentage there. So that's one. DFS. Now I'm currently, you know, I better make sure of that. Where is it? Yes. I'm currently long DFS and up 9.5% right now. Now, once we surpass, about 51.90, I might look to add to this if it looks really strong. And then I will probably be taking a base hit somewhere around 55, say 65, something like that. And then, you know, a base hit, leaving a couple contracts on, and then I'll be looking at 57.70, maybe 61, 61 up here. It's actually very unlikely I will see 61. I just not my thing. It really isn't. I could see 57.60 for the last part of the trade, but my job is just simply trade it up, nice, comfortable, little base hit. I'm okay with singles, doubles, triples. I'm okay with that. Those count. They may not count in baseball unless you get around all the plates there. But in trading, hey, they count. They really do count. Let's see. Question: do you plan on doing multiple contracts and taking profits on pieces when you have multiple profit targets? Yes. Yeah. I don't believe anybody can trade just one ticker symbol and make money. Not trade. You may invest in it. That's different. But trade it, I don't believe that you'll actually make money, because with all trading, you're going to have losses in there as well. And you can't be right 100% of the time. Although, if you listen to some of the emails that get sent out, some people, they're a trading god. You know, 100 winners out of 100. Yeah, they're an absolute trading god. Not so, but yeah, we're all going to have losses there. So. Let's see, Kevin. I assume you add on the pullback. Do you add if stock takes off? If I can catch it, Kevin, and that's where the scanner comes in. You know, if that's why whenever I buy a position, I add it to what I call my hot list in the scanner window. That way, I can keep. I mean, there's only a handful of stocks in there, and then a few that I just like to watch. But if I see it starting to pop, then I know to go, you know, take a look at it. And then I may add to it. Absolutely. But I also may close it out the very same day or take profits the very same day. Let's see, Reggie, your thoughts. Reggie, I'll look at some stocks as soon as I get through my 10. There are a lot of people here that they're here to see my 10 actionable, and I want to get through those first, and then we will definitely look at stocks you have there, okay? Morgan Stanley is another one. We ended up with a nice little bullish engulf Friday. Here we had a little gap down. The overall trend is up pretty nice. A little bit of a gap down, and the stock is just crawled and it just scrapped to get itself back up here. And then Friday, we ended up with a nice little bullish engulf here. If we were to take these candles here and just connect, these connect, and then let the rest of it go where it will, it would be just about like that. See, those are connected. That's what I want connected. And we broke out of that downtrend Friday. So now what I'll be looking for is buying opportunity in this area right there. And then profit opportunities, I'll be looking somewhere around 54.20, 56 and a quarter up here. Is what I'll be looking for profit, potential profit areas here. Yes, I will try to buy more than one contract. Now, here's the problem. And so here's the question. Let me read this question because it's a good question. You meant multiple contracts in one trade. The answer is yes. I want to buy multiple contracts. The problem is starting out with such little money, sometimes it's hard to do. It really hard. You've got to hunt and peck to find charts that meet your charting criteria and meet your options criteria. Okay, so it takes a little bit of work, but it can be done. I've done it. I'm going to do it again. I'm not worried about it. You just have to know what to look for. And I'll be talking about that. And like I say, you just have to find options that you can afford to buy. And you can't afford to buy all options. Like going long two call, what is it? Bila? Something like that, Bila? I want to say this. I appreciate your questions, but I don't want you to learn all about trading tonight. In fact, I'm going to suggest to you that you become a member, and you can become a trial member for a simple $49 for 60 days. And that's where you're going to get a lot of these questions answered, okay? It sounds like you started trading yesterday, and you're trying to figure out how to trade tonight. I appreciate that, but I'm going to caution you to take it slow and devise a plan, all right? And I'll help you with that plan. Okay? But I strongly, I can tell by your questions that you need to pump the brakes just slightly, just a slight little pump, and get into it. But you need to be there with real traders in real time to get the gist of it, okay? And I strongly recommend that. All righty. Adam is asking my average hold time. Let's do it this way. Let me say that I don't care what my average hold time is. All right? I trade with a goal in mind. Very important. I trade with a goal in mind. So let's say I buy MS, and MS even gets to right here. And it's not to any line, but let's say from here to here is $300 I make in my pocket. I could if I close it out, right? And what if my goal is only $100? Well, now you've got a decision to make. Do you sell it all, or do you sell half the position? You sell half the position, you're going to make your goal and then some. And then you can hold the other half, maybe you can make more. I don't really care whether that happens in 1 day or 25 days. I really don't care. I will say that my trading tends to be 10 days or less. Now, this is why I don't like to get into this kind of conversation when we have such a short period of time to talk about it. It's just like taking the news, for instance. You know, the news, they pull out these headlines that are eye catching, but they don't tell you the whole story. And I feel like I've just told you some headlines without the whole story. And I've got no way to tell the whole story in the time we have. And let me give you an example of that. I trade only calls, which you're betting the stock goes up, or puts, you're betting the stock goes down. Well, the success that I've had for this is because my ability to read a stock or chart and feel comfortable when I buy it. I haven't bought this yet, so I'm not 1,000% comfortable on it yet, but it is a chart that may be setting up, certainly on my watch list. Once I buy it, I'm fairly comfortable that it's going to go up. Now, how did I get comfortable about doing that? I got comfortable because the time I've spent studying charts, my understanding of candlesticks, which is price action, my understanding of chart patterns, and my understanding where there might be areas where the stock starts to, waffle just a little bit. So you see, there's so much more to this story. It's not as easy as follow these 6.5 steps and you're going to make money. That's not the case. So again, the simple answer I could tell you is I don't have a hold time. I will say it's more 99% of my trades are probably under 10 days. But I would not have a problem holding it 25 days as long as it kept going up. And don't put 25 days. Don't use ink to write it down. I'll also stay into a trade 45 days as well if I have to. Okay, so again, I trade by goals. So when I start my new process, I will know exactly how much money I need to make to accomplish my 12-month goal. And that's exactly what I did last time, and it's exactly what I'm going to do this time. No changes, no differences. I know you don't get enough. I'm going to skip that. Let's see here. To clarify, you buy 2 calls, and when it reaches the first target, you sell 1. Yes, that would be good clarification, yes. Let's see, Kevin, do you take into account sector rotation? Not really. I don't, Kevin. Not really. You know, I mean, I don't care what sector this is in. If I see the chart trending, here, let's go to a different one so we can at least talk about a different chart. Take a look at XLU. So if I see a chart trending like this, and I can clearly see somewhat of a top right in here, I can clearly see that if we get past, I'm going to say about right here. I don't care about the very top. But if we can get past 62, say 20, I think 63.50 is in the cards, then 65 and a quarter. Even sectors that are down have charts in them that are moving up. So I really do not follow this or that sector if it's leading. I look for leading charts, and I simply look for a chart that's trending. I look for chart patterns that I could recognize. I look for things like the trend indicator turning. I look for price action that, with the candlesticks here, and I'm looking to make little swings up. For like this right here, this to me, not that, well, I certainly didn't buy this, but and I don't care about this. I'm gonna paint that red. I would never trade that right there. You'll never catch me well, I shouldn't say never, but you'll never see me talk about that too much if I did. The trade I'm looking for is Here we've pulled back. I'd be looking for that swing right there. And here we've consolidated. We've got a Morningstar chart pattern here. Nice pop out of the box type chart pattern. A great candle Friday on some great volume. So I see no reason, even if this sector was heading south, which it's not, I see no reason why we can't get to 63.35 or 65.25. And I'm perfectly happy with that. That would meet my goal 5 to 10 times. Let's see. I will only do if it fits my average trade size I set. Good idea. You don't want to oversize. Very good idea. You don't want to buy more than you can't handle. Very good idea. Let's see. What are the green and red dot indicators on your chart? This is called the trend indicator. That's called the trend indicator. And what I like to see is I like to see the trend indicator go from red to green. And then from there, I look at price action and chart patterns for an entry. And I want to make sure that the chart can make me money. Does it have the potential to make me money? So anyway, if you have TC2000, I have a very short 9-minute video on how to set this up. If you have Thinkorswim, just check your email here in a few days. I'm going to be sending a code out that you can set up on Thinkorswim. If anyone else has code for another program, if you pass it on to me, I'll send it out to folks. And I think that would help out a lot of people. I think that'd be a good thing. Let's see. Okay. I'm writing one at the moment. Okay, I see other conversations going on. Thank you, Kevin. Mike, is the max profit you'll pay to market makers bid on the bid and ask? Mike, I always trade the mid price. Well, and I say when I'm trading, I have 3 boxes. I have the bid, and I'm gonna paint this one different color. I've got the mid. And then we'll just keep this one green, I guess. The ask price, okay? So I go after the mid price, but I'll tell you, when I don't want to wait for the stock. If I want to buy the stock, I want to buy it. I don't want to fool around waiting on it. So let me turn this into a pin. All right, let's say the mid price is $5.47, 74 cents. I don't know where I got that at. $5, that looks more like a 2. There you go. $5.24. I'll wait for it. I'll give it a couple seconds. That's about it. And if I've seen where this thing will pop right up. And let's just put a 5 in there. It'll pop to a 5, maybe a 6. Well, I'll say to hell with that. I'll just change my order to a 5.27. If I want it, I want it. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around for 2 pennies. I'm not gonna mess with it for 2 pennies. I'm not gonna worry about it. I want the trade. I'm looking at making several $100s, if not $1,000. What do I care about 3 pennies? So. And I got to tell you, more times than not, that's what happens. The order goes in, I see this start clicking up a little bit, then I will get right in it. But now, here's why that happens a lot of times. It's because when I'm looking at charts, I'm using the scanner from Live Trading Alerts, and I'm looking for charts that are showing buyers coming in. So I'm not the first guy on the trade. Believe me, I want to be on winning teams. I don't want to create the team. I don't want to pick the team players. I just want to be on a winning team. So if the team is winning, moving up, in other words, then the scanner shows me that. So So by default, sometimes I'm entering a chart that buyers are starting to pile in. So I want to be in it. So a lot of times that's what makes this thing start clicking up like that. Like I said, I'll go right in there and I'll just get ahead of the game by a penny, and I get filled almost every time then. But the ask price still might be, we'll just say $6 over here. Pretty high, but something like that. So that's another thing. You'll never find that I'm the guy that gets the super duper cool entry. You'll never hear me. You'll never hear me say, "Man, I bought." Well, let's see, what was this? What's this price? The low, 54.81. You'll never hear me say, "Hey, I bought this at 54.81." That if I ever do that, call me out on it. Okay, call me out on it. You'll win. Puts great way to short stocks without using riskier margin. Yep. You go short without actually going long. Yeah. You've got a lot to learn there, Bila. Just sharing it with you. Trader X, does your trading goal amount change as the account goes? It does in chunks. Yes, it does. Good question. It does in chunks. It's not a day-by-day thing. So I'm going to start this new one with $10,000, okay? And so maybe it gets to 12, and I'll revamp, and I'll certainly share, when this happens. When it gets to 12, I might up that, how much I can spend per position. When it gets to, 15, something like that, when we get up there like that, then I'll revamp, because you want to scale up. So maybe with 10,000, I might only be able to put, jeepers creepers. See, this is the hard part, because I'm going to share a number with you right now, and you're going to think, holy crap, that's a whole lot of percentage of your amount here. Well, I've been trading 33 years now. I've got a fairly good track record, so I feel like I can do it, but it doesn't mean that everyone has to follow me into it, okay? So I got to tell you now that I probably will spend 10% of my account on one position. Now, I know some people are saying, holy cow, that's way too much. Well, if you just started, quote, trading a week ago, you're right, it is too much. It's way too much. But this is what I'm going to do. Now, and this is hard, because if you want to buy 2 contracts, that's a lot. I'm going to have to look for stocks that are a little bit cheaper. And when I did this with $5,000, there were a lot of times I could only buy 1 contract. And when it reached my goal, I sold it. And it may have been 2 days, it may have been 10 days or 15 days. But when it reached my goal, I took my goal off the table. So this is not an easy endeavor, but I want to prove that it can be done. I've already done it. I want to do it again. And I know I'm doing this because I've had lots of requests, people wanting to be part of this. And so that I finally decided, well, I'm going to take the money out, go put it in my sock and put it under my bed, and then trade just $10,000. Let's see, would it be reasonable goal on DRI? Look, going long. I'll look at those when I get through these others here. Sorry, guys, but I have to do that. Just to be clear, the price targets are determined by support. Sure. But I'm going to say yes. You need to come in the room during the day. The red and green dots equally reliable as green? Yes, Johnny, yes. Does the news ever influence your thoughts of a stock, or is it strictly... Well, Adam, news, we like to say just follow the charts, but you've got to also respect the news to some extent. You definitely have to do that. From what I watched about the trend indicator, red dots mean price is below. That's correct. Trend indicator, and the green dots means price are above. That's correct. And let me share this with you. This is nothing more than the 17 exponential moving average, guys. This trend indicator here. The green dots and red dots, that's nothing more than the 17 exponential. The really cool thing is we just came up with a neat way to clearly show you've got red dots or green dots. That's all. But this is nothing more than the 17 exponential. And you can actually change it to any moving average you want to. Yeah, so there's, it's not a really big trick. The cool thing is we just figured out how to make it red dots and green dots. That's all. That's the cool thing about it. Outside of that, it's just the 17 exponential. Nothing big. When you mention not caring about pennies, do you ever do market orders instead? No. I never, not since trading options, I don't do market orders, no. Red dots, when moving averages going down, green dots moving up. Yes, RC. Yes, XLU is one of the 10. Yes, sir. And thanks for reminding me. Let's look at JCI. Now, I am currently long JCI, currently up 6.9% already. I'm looking for 41 up here as an area for it to reach to. Not guaranteed. Believe me, there's no guarantee I'm going to wait for that. Man, I have no problem taking $500, $600, $700 off the table. I have no problem at all. And I don't necessarily need more than that. Just my way of trading. So here we have a nice trend up. I think this is probably one of the best chart patterns a person can learn right here. Say you have a bullish W pattern right here, okay? That's part of it, okay? So I think that is a huge reversal type chart pattern. And then when it pulls back is where you want to look for entries. There's nothing wrong with trading the breakout, okay? I'm not against that at all. I think that's a great thing to do. But this chart, what we're looking at is the pullback. Now, I wasn't in it over here. I just bought it a couple days ago. Now, I'm going to change the color just so we don't get too pinkish there. So here the chart rallied up. This is part of that chart pattern I think everybody should look at. A chart that rallies and pulls back right here. And then you want to look for price action telling you that buyers are stepping in. You also want this to be at some kind of support that you can make some argument with. Be able to make an argument with it, that it's at support. And also, it's really nice to see candle patterns show something, but you don't always get that. You don't actually always get a 3-bar candle pattern. But right there, I think that is one of the best chart patterns there is. Here it is, the same thing right here. And it comes after something like a bullish W pattern. This is a great example right here. Great example. And then we've got this big area right here that it broke out of right there. That right there. So here we're up, pull back, testing. Looks like the buyers are back in. So all I need for this thing to do is move up a little bit. And that's money in the bank. And that reaches my goal. Malcolm, you're hearing theme. There's nothing. I've got no music playing. Yeah, I've got no music playing. Great, Bila. That would be great. It'd be so much better to answer your questions there and show you charts. And I would show you my how I would buy one using the option chain. You're not being a nuisance. I just think you're trying to cram everything into one Sunday night. And I'm just saying pump the brakes a little. It'll help you. Hey, Reggie, as a Right Way Options member, are we going to get the alerts on your new account? No, it doesn't work that way. If you, for instance, Hit and Run Candlesticks members do not get Right Way Option alerts unless they're a Right Way Option member. And the same is true the other way. You have to be a Hit and Run Candlestick member to get the Hit and Run Candlestick alerts. So, sorry. But you do, yeah, it's that way both directions. Hey Ray, could I get your outlook? Let's see, let's look at a few more first, okay? Sorry, a lot of questions tonight. I am going to cut it short. It's not going to go over an hour, but I'm trying to answer all the questions, and I'm trying to get through at least 10. SLB is one I'm taking a look at. Take a look at this trend right here. In fact, I won't answer any more questions. We'll just look at charts, and I'll try to bang through them. You've got a morning star signal. We popped up. There's that favorite chart pattern I was telling you about. Rise. Here's our pullback. Bullish engulf. That needs to be on the list. Target 21, 2280 up here. It's a nice looking chart. SLB. How about Nike? Take a look at Nike. Anyone think Nike can get to 104 and then 106? Man, I do. I think that's a hot looking chart. Look how this thing has broken out. Look at the chart pattern getting there. We have a double bottom right here, and then from there, look how we go from a low to a high to a higher low. We don't make a higher high, but neither we don't make a higher low or a lower low either. We make a higher low, and now the bulls start to really present themselves in here. Big pop, consolidation. That chart just looks to me like it's going to 104, then 106. Take a look at FEYE. Now I'm currently in FEYE, only up 2.8%, nothing big. The chart, we gapped up. We've consolidated. It looks like 1490 has held. From there, it looks like it's going to travel up, and I'm looking at 1665. And then maybe 18. That might be a little bit of a stretch. But then 18 up there on FEYE. One more, McDonald's. Currently in McDonald's. That's a nice looking trade if anybody has gotten into it. I don't think it's viable right now. I do think, however, on a little bit of a pullback, and a pullback closer to 201 and a quarter. So somewhere down there like that might be a better buy to make for McDonald's, and then look for 206.80, 214 up here as a target. Let's see, that's 11. All right, we'll call that it. All right, let's look at Facebook. My opinion on Facebook is if it closed like this on Friday, I would have been out of it. So 30 minutes before the close, that would have shown up. Man, I would not have held that stock with that candle. Outside of that, my opinion now is it needs to stabilize itself after that shooting star. Other than that, it's in an uptrend. But with that candle, no way would I have held it if you're holding it. Sorry to tell you that. So let's see, which gapped up, no news. Does that mean anything? It just means there's more buyers, Ray. And overall, I'm bullish on Facebook. I'm just not, I'm just saying that I wouldn't necessarily have been holding it Friday with that candle right there. But overall, Facebook is one of the leaders in this market. So right now, I'm bullish on it. You don't trade expensive stocks like Amazon. Amazon and Google are a little bit high for me. Yeah, I don't trade those, but I've traded Apple. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see, HJ, how did you get 4108? You didn't put in there which stock to look at, so I really don't know which one you're speaking of, HJ. Sorry. lot of conversations going on between different people, so I'm kind of skipping over and trying to figure out what's are actually to me. Yeah, NLOK. That's a nice chart. Kevin, I know you've been trading that. I hope you were in it on this big move here. It's moved up now too much for me to even consider at this point. But I do believe it can fill this gap up here. So what it would need to do is look at this chart right there. That's basically what it's going to need to do right here. Up. See that consolidation? Now let me change colors. See how we gapped up? This is this move right here. And now what I need for it to do is consolidate, set up again, and then we need to see those buyers step in like that, and then I would consider a buy on it. But so far, I know Kevin's been trading this. Way to go, Kevin. Nice call on this chart. And I think it has room to move yet. Let's put this line up here too. So it did break out of that high over there. Good deal. Evelyn, McDonald's, is that McDonald's is flaming out or is McDonald's on fire? I'm not sure what that is. I like your little emoji there though. Thank you, Ray. No, you know, Bruce, you have a good point there. No shorts tonight. Good. Thanks for bringing that up, Bruce. No, I don't have any shorts now. With that said, I'm actually in a couple of shorts, but there are no shorts. What's the market doing? Now, I'm one of these believers that the market, the SPY to me, S&P 500 is my market, and I use the SPY to get my information, okay? So I'm one of these believers that let's change the color there we go. 85% of all stocks follow the S&P 500. All right, I'm one of those believers. So I don't know that I want to be big on the shorts, like I said, but although I am short a couple of shorts right now, we don't really want to be short. We don't want to really be, focused on shorts until the market says so. And the market is not saying so right now. The market is just not saying so. And when it does, then by golly, we will. So yeah, you're right. Good and great point. Thank you. AMD long. I love AMD. Don't get, I love AMD, and I think AMD goes to 100. And if you're an investor, probably. But if you're a trader, if it breaks out, yes. Really, I'd like it to consolidate a little bit more. I'd like to see some sellers come in and sell it off a little, and then maybe we look to be a buyer on it. But I am bullish AMD. I just don't think right now maybe is the best time. But if it does start to break out of 87, then that might be a buy there. Outside of that, I'm waiting for a little bit of consolidation and pullback. JCI, I think we just talked about that one. I'm long that myself. I'm looking for 41 from this point right here. So, if we start to break out of Friday's candle, which, yeah, I like that, over 310, 315, then I think we go up and reach for that 41 area. Thoughts on INO? I am currently long INO myself. INO, yeah, I should just leave that right there. INO needs to get over that pink line. Yeah, I think it needs to get over that that line right there. Uh-oh, guys, my time is up. Yeah, it needs to get over that line right there to make us any money. but I'm looking at 1550 and then maybe up here to 16. Of course, it can go higher up here, but NIO, yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's see, MATAX, too choppy. No, that would be a nice chart on follow through. That'd be a real nice chart. There's a few shipping port charts that are looking good. NAT also might be one you want to take a look at, Adam. Okay, we'll look at OPK, and then I'm going to call it a night. OPK. OPK. Friday, well, I wasn't here Friday, so Thursday, we were kind of eyeballing it. I know it's on the scanner alert and alerted Thursday. Friday's just a little doji day, so I've got one line moving down that we need to stay over, and I think if we started to see follow through above 595, OPK would be a great trade. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful chart, by the way, and I do think it goes higher. You just because I think it goes higher, I mean, if you're a trader, a trader, it's all about getting the entry pretty well timed, and then an exit that makes you happy. That's what it's about. You don't want to. You can take a chart like OPK, which I think is a very nice chart, and it could pull back to here and still be a nice chart. But if you time your entry poorly on the wrong type of signals, it could come back down here to 439 and it still be a bullish chart. But you're going to feel the pain right in here. So we have to make sure that the setup is correct, and that puts the probabilities in our favor of a move in the direction that we want it to move. All right, seriously, folks, I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it very, very much. Sorry, I make no bones about it. Last time I did this, I do not want to miss my TV show. I trade for this show tonight. We'll see everybody on the other side. We'll see you Monday. Below, if you're there Monday, I'll answer every single question you have. I'll even buy a chart with you and show you how to do it. All right, you guys take care. Have a great, safe evening, and we'll see you next week, or see you Monday, and have a safe week. You guys all take care. Thank you.